Legendary comedian and actor Chevy Chase is at home in Westchester recovering from an undefined heart issue. The Saturday Night Live original cast member spent a shocking 5 weeks in the hospital. Though Chase has been open about his health issues in the past, the exact cause of this particular trip to the emergency room is unknown. It could be related to past issues with alcohol, which caused cardiomyopathy, though at 77 it could just be a case of getting older. He told Page Six he was happy to be home and he's feeling good. Uncommonly for the active actor, for now, Chase has settled into the simple life at home. Chevy Chase is happy to be home. The restrictions on going out due to COVID have been a blessing in disguise for the recovering Chase. He said he has no need to go out and meet COVID. Watching TV is one of the main ways he spends his free time. And perhaps in an unsurprisingly bah humbug moment, he was full of criticism for the programming of today. He said, quote, "I see actors, comedians, producers, screenwriters working, and God bless them, but I don't see anything great on TV. The humor today is giving the next generation worse stuff than they already have in their own lives." Basically, Chase thinks today's comedy is a far cry from what he and his co-stars produced for the iconic original episodes of SNL. Chevy Chase diagnosed with alcohol-related illness. In 2018, Chevy was diagnosed with alcohol cardiomyopathy. This serious condition is caused by heavy drinking and leads to weakened heart muscles. To deal with his alcoholism, he did a lengthy stint at Hazelden Addiction Treatment Center for what his publicist called a tune-up. At the time, Chase's long-suffering wife, Janie Chase, almost filed for divorce, and he became estranged from at least one of his daughters, all because he initially refused to get any help and stopped drinking. It's unclear if his recent hospital stay was related to his past substance abuse, though. But Chase also hasn't said exactly what his condition was caused by. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. And stick around for a lot more about Chevy Chase's issues with substance abuse. Substance abuse is all too common among actors of all ages and levels of fame, and it's often the most famous that suffer the most and the longest. Chevy Chase is no exception. His battle with booze and drugs extends back to the 80s. It also might be the root of why Hollywood seems to hate him. During his time on SNL, he suffered a pretty bad back injury. He was prescribed painkillers, which he became addicted to. He also said to Esquire that it was around the same time that his, quote, nose started to hurt, and it wasn't from a cold. He checked himself into the Betty Ford Clinic, the popular celebrity rehab choice of the era, in 1986. Chase was a fan of late President Gerald Ford, and in a letter to the president, Chase credits President Ford's wife, Betty, as the person who rescued him. Chevy Chase struggled with popularity after rehab. After Chevy's well-publicized visit to Betty Ford's clinic, no one wanted to hire him. Plus, all his fellow SNL stars, the likes of Steve Martin as a host, Martin Short, and Bill Murray, had eclipsed him in fame. While they've all become American treasures and pop culture savants, he's floundered in recent years. In the 90s, he tried to reboot National Lampoon with lackluster results. It wasn't until 2009 that Chase made a bit of a comeback. He was already semi-retired when he was cast on Community, a long-lived and successful NBC sitcom set in a community college. Apparently, Chevy Chase was blown away by the script of show creator Dan Harmon. He made a brief comeback with Community. He was cast in the role of Pierce Hawthorne, an elderly rich guy who had an always inappropriate attitude, complemented by boatloads of insecurity in denial. For the first time in a long time, Chevy Chase's acting ability and comedic presence were relished by critics. They called him farcically loopy and delightful, among other nice things. And at first, he got along well with his co-stars. Sadly for Chase, it wasn't long before the calm broke down behind the scenes. The seasoned actor quickly got fed up with what he thought was a disorganized production by Harmon. The scripts were constantly changing, and there were tediously long waits on set. He tried to push back, and Harmon bristled. Things came to a head at the season 3 wrap party. Apparently, Harmon led an expletive-filled shout-out against Chevy, who, faced with abuse from cast and crew alike, promptly left. Chevy Chase had a terrible childhood. Though Chase has never admitted it, those close to him say his childhood was full of tragedy and hardship. His parents divorced when he was a young boy, and though he loved his father, who was a well-respected book editor and fellow funny man, he was forced to live with his mother. She was abusive, reportedly often waking Chase in the middle of the night to slap him across the face for no reason. Things got worse as he got older. Apparently, when he was just 14, his mother locked him in the basement for a few days with only a jug to use for a toilet. It would be easy for Chevy to pin all his struggles with addiction and career failures on his hard-knock young life. But he never has, even though his current wife, Janie, thinks his tough childhood has had a massive impact on his life as an adult. It's turned him bitter, cynical, and critical, she says. He was labeled a racist. Community was a new star role for Chevy and offered him a Phoenix Rising moment. Those hopes were quickly dashed when he reportedly told his co-star Donald Glover that people thought he was funnier because he was black. Glover told the New York Times he quickly lost all respect for Chase, which led to a lot of bad blood on set. It didn't help that Chevy Chase doubled down on his racist comments. While Chase later agreed his treatment of Donald wasn't great, it wasn't to last. When he ended up on stage with Glover on the set of SNL's 40th anniversary special, he told the Washington Post, quote, "I never saw a guy turn white so fast." Odd choice of words. His addiction flared up after Community ended. The troubling times on the Community set led him turning once again to the bottle. This is according to his daughter Kaylee, who was living with him at the time. She said she saw a glass of wine become a bottle, and then it turned into a bottle of vodka. Things got so bad that at one point his family had simply given up on him, thinking he'd drink himself to death before too long. One day, however, for reasons he can't explain, Chase walked outside into his yard, took a single gulp from the bottle of vodka he was holding, and made the difficult but necessary decision to quit for good. He checked himself into an addiction center for treatment in 2016, much to the gratitude of his loving but fed-up family. Chase has theories about why Hollywood hates him. First of all, Chase thinks it's because of an ill-fated late-night TV talk show he hosted in '93. It aired on Fox and it was called The Chevy Chase Show. Critics panned the show, and shockingly, it was canceled after a paltry 5 weeks on air. He also moved to a tiny country town in New York State, and Chase believes this took him out of Hollywood's limelight. Finally, he thinks it's his age and related health problems, including past struggles with addiction and obesity. At 77, he's not a picture of good health that the American public demands of its stars. It's possible, though, that his dry sense of humor is also working against him. Unlike a fine red wine, it hasn't aged well. He's content with his life. Despite so many flops and failures over the past few decades, Chevy admits he's content with his life. Many people would like to see their favorite funny Hollywood dad back on the silver screen. And his new life full of fitness and sobriety could see a renewal of a long-lost career. And of course, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation remains a seasonal favorite to this day. Chase admits he no longer wants to remain semi-retired. In 2019, he played an aging manager in the Netflix film The Last Laugh. While not a roaring success, it wasn't panned by critics either. He also got up on stage with his former SNL buddies. They were being inducted into the TV Hall of Fame. Do you think Chevy Chase deserves his downright dastardly reputation? Or do you think Hollywood has made a villain of him for unfair reasons? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.